Happy Monday. Happy New Year.
Happy Monday, Happy New Year.
Welcome, everybody, to the Commentary Zone, Noontime Edition 2022. Yay, it's a fresh start. I hope you guys all had a wonderful holiday weekend and y'all are ready to get back into this mess. Okay, so let's just say hi to everybody in the live chat. Hey, Susan. Hey, Gina. Gina, you better be there tomorrow. We're doing Sister Wives. Hey, Roddy Gal. Hey, Barbie. Let's see. Hi, Black Lavender. Morning, Trey. Those pictures were lovely, though, that you sent, Trey. Would I want to be there? No, but they're beautiful. Okay, so on the docket today, we have the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 2, Episode 15, The Miseducation of Mary Cosby. I love the title of this episode. It took me back.
Mm,
Oh, my God. All right, so what do you think of the episode overall?
I think overall it was solid. It was just Mary and Meredith are killing me right now. Like Mary having convenient amnesia, Meredith and her antics. I was like, are you serious? Like you didn't just you with the whole Jenny situation. She annoyed me with that one. It was I was kind of shocked
Wait,
that she
Jenny annoyed you or how Meredith
Meredith
and Mary
how
reacted?
how Meredith and Mary reacted was
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it was expected how Mary reacted based on what we've seen of her. She does have that convenient amnesia when it comes to what she said. What shocked me with her was when she doubled down
yeah.
and then tried to say that what she said is a compliment for Americans. Girl, don't
Yeah, don't put
speak.
down Americans.
I'm a naturalized American. So speaking for the naturalized Americans, don't speak for me. That in a couple of episodes ago, she was talking racism with her husband, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She doesn't make sense. And then I was disappointed in Meredith for how she tried to change the subject ever so subtly, or not so subtly, from racism to how they treat Jen. Say what now? Okay. That whole party was a confusion for me. It really was. But they all looked really pretty. Well, except Meredith. She has a thing with feathers, and I get it. You have your thing. But when they
Right.
start blocking your co-stars, then yeah, there's a problem. All right, so let's get to the top of the episode. We start off with Whitney going to the Ivy restaurant to plan her rebranding party. We see Lisa cleaning a toilet, and we see Heather giving her business partner, I think her name is Dre, I think so, a new Audi SUV as a thank you for everything that she's done with her for her business. Jenny takes her husband lunch at his job. Their daughter won first place in art at school, and then they start talking about the full luncheon and the comment that Mary made about her eyes. Dewey is kind of shocked. And Jenny thinks that Mary should be more educated than that, to say something than that. And I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Like, how does she not know?
I
I
just
mean,
yeah, I didn't get that.
and
I just didn't.
from one minority to another, it's kind of hurtful. Like, for real, you know what it is to have hate speech or insulting comments. Let me rephrase that. Insulting comments said to you as a minority, and yet you're doing it to somebody else. It's kind of shitty. But
Yeah,
okay.
that's just the thing with me. She acted like she didn't understand what people were, what whatchamacallit was saying. I was like, no, you should know. Just, it was just
But
annoying.
but I oh sorry. I think what kind of freaked me out, and I know we're gonna get to it, I'm jumping ahead, but did you catch? All right, so Jenny said what she had to say about the eye comment, right? And
Hmm.
so Mary turns to her, I think, and says, "Did you know that that was an insult?" And she goes, "Well, um, not to everyone, but would I personally say it? No. What? So if you personally wouldn't say it, something's wrong with it." She used to be the moral compass of this show.
Yeah, give me one moment because there was a tweet that summed up what I was thinking perfectly. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, "Are you serious?" Where is it? All right. Oops. Share
So
screen.
I think at this point, Jenny decides that she's going to talk to Mary and let her know how she felt about what was said to her, which I think is a very good idea.
All right. So
Hmm.
here we go.
Hmm.
So here, this is from Alex, at Alex underscore abads on Twitter. And this, to me, this is perfect. Meredith disengaging from Jenny's sincere plea about derogatory language while she has been complaining to all the women all season about them being insensitive about Brooke's sexuality is a terrible look. And
Hmm.
I agree because in my head I was thinking like you're telling me that you don't understand that what was said about Jenny's eyes is derogatory, but you're quick to understand some of the terms Jen used in regards to quote Brooke's quote unquote sexuality.
Right, and then while reinforcing that he has neither said or not said anything about his sexuality.
Right.
So,
Then go
uh,
ahead. Sorry.
no, it's just infuriating. This is making me even more angry.
And then he adds to his tweet, and he said, "Being friends with someone doesn't mean blindly defending them, a point that Meredith has been making all season, but yet she blindly defends Mary."
Something is off there. Something is off. We need to know more. I don't know. I don't know. Um, but I do think it's a good idea that Jenny goes and talks to her. Can I just make a comment on Jenny? Some of the accessories that Jenny had on to go and visit her husband for lunch.
Hmm.
That black pearl that she had on, that was a fortune. And that Hermes clutch, that ain't too bad neither. She put those on to go and see him for lunch taking Cheesecake Factory.
Right.
I I had to replay the scene because I was so busy looking at that pendant. Guys, go back and look at that black pearl pendant. It is gorge. Loved it. All right. Mary and Meredith have lunch together. Mary says that she's proud of Meredith. Then complains about Jenny. Did she do that in an Asian accent, like mimicking?
Who, Mary?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
It didn't sound like Mary's normal accent. I could be over analyzing, but whatever. Mary thinks that Jenny says whatever she wants to her in a disrespectful tone, and that Jenny is a reflection of her friend Lisa. What you
Hmm.
think about that?
I was like, wow.
Is it kind of accurate?
In some ways, yes.
I think these are two people that would not be friends in real life, and I think that their personalities rub or grate on each other. I don't think they would ever be friends, and this show is just making things worse.
Okay, so so let me just so I understand. Are you talking about Lisa and Jenny, or are you talking
No,
about?
Jenny and Mary.
Oh yeah, never in real life. Come on now.
No, Lisa and Jenny have been friends
Right.
for
That's what I was.
years.
That's what I want to make sure
No,
I understood properly.
yeah, no, Mary and Jenny, I don't think they would be friends in real life. I don't think their personalities would gravitate towards each other. I think that they're like they grate, like they bring out the worst in each other. That's how I see their two personalities, because they are both very strong will, authoritative leaders in their own like respective lives. Like Jenny was a prominent businesswoman, probably still is, because she does have a lot of those traits of a leader. And Mary's a leader of her church, and is, both of them are used to giving orders and not being questioned. Good Lord. Okay. Um, Meredith does say that Jenny has a little temper. And Mary asks where she stands with Lisa now, where Meredith stands with Lisa. And Meredith says that Lisa is singing Jen's praises and it's triggering for her. Meredith is confused because she and Lisa were best friends for many, many years. And now she's best friends with Jen over the last year. And Lisa has never told Jen that she's wrong for what Jen did to Meredith's son. Mary asks, who is Lisa to you? And Meredith says that's a good question. This was an interesting luncheon. Like, it's times like this, like, I think Meredith brings out the best in Mary, but Mary brings out the worst in Meredith.
Right.
God. Oh my God. So what do you think? Like, is Meredith taking this thing with Mary and Lisa and Jen too far? She should be over it?
I
Because
mean,
this is like just dragging on from Brooks, isn't it?
right. If she keeps on this whole Brooks thing, she needs to let. I'm sorry. She needs to let it go. I'm sorry. She needs to stop because this is over a year. This is ridiculous. This is that's her son. Okay, fine. I no, I totally get it. Don't get me wrong, but you at some point either you need to have serious one-on-one conversations and with the people and quit disengaging because you feel uncomfortable. Like either you want resolution or you don't. And sometimes resolution involves putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. You can't run at every turn. It doesn't work.
Yeah. So, okay, so Roddy Gal, Mary makes fun of Jenny's voice on top of it all. So she was kind of mimicking her, wasn't she?
I want to say, when you put it that way, I think so.
Yeah, because like, I think Meredith even gave her like a strange look when she did it, and then she stopped. It was real quick. Maybe I'll go back and watch it. Maybe I am over analyzing this situation. I don't know. Next, we see Lisa getting her son ready for the prom, and she reminisced about her prom and how she ruined it or some nonsense. Photographer arrives, is taking pictures, and his date arrives with a young lady named Sammy who looked really cute. Lisa was super annoying. And why she had her son dressed like Pee Wee Herman. He had so
Yeah.
much cuff showing.
Oof.
Did he go through a growth spurt? Didn't you buy him a new suit for prom? You could tell I
Mm-mm.
didn't pay attention to that scene because I was just focused on that cuff.
He didn't look comfortable. I'll put it that way. He did not look comfortable.
Okay.
And Lisa needs to like I like Lisa in certain aspects. When she's working and with her family, I like her a lot. And when she's with Jenny, I
Mhm.
like her. But when she's with the other ladies, it's interesting because, but she acknowledges my issue with her. She acknowledges at the end of the show that she does not say things in the moment. It's always
Mm-hmm.
off to the side. Like I'm like, you need to speak up when it's time to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Valid
my
point.
main issue. That's my issue with her. Speak up when you need to
Mhm.
speak up.
Okay, so next we see Whitney speaking with her event planner for the relaunch of her brand. The event is in a couple of days, and she admits that she still has no no new labels, no prints. Like she doesn't have like a lot of things that you need to relaunch her brand, but she has pillows and she has little gift bags. I think Heather comes over and they're making all these little tchotchke things. And she's fretting over this, but Heather tells her, "Oh my God, I know you're focusing on this, but look at the bigger picture and look how far you've come and you've done it all on your own. Like take a breath and actually look at what you've accomplished versus the small little things that aren't done yet. You still have time. Like don't beat yourself up." And this is where I like the two of them, their relationship.
Right.
Okay, Trey says, "Can we talk about how Lisa looks younger now than she did in her own prom picture? Where's that poodle hair? The Aquanet hair from back in the diggity day." That wasn't doing her no favors. And then I'm of course, I'm sure that she has a good regime of skincare or whatever. Um, Wait, she's acting like he was taking pictures for a magazine and not for prom.
True.
But it seemed like she wanted to be in all the pictures as if Lisa was going to prom.
Mhm.
It's
Remember,
kind of
she
odd.
said no, but she said she said that if she could, she would go to prom for her son.
And ruin it for him like how she ruined her own?
That was my thing.
Okay. I can't deal with Lisa. Um, so
I like I
Whitney
said,
said, uh-huh.
Lisa with her family and working is great. Her with
Mm-hmm.
the other ladies, not so much.
Lisa in any moment, no.
Mm,
Um, Whitney, I'm confused. Whitney says that they use all of their money, and Justin always says they use half. Is he hiding money from her? Or is there like accounts that can't be touched, like retirement accounts that can't be touched?
Um, I was wondering about that too because I heard she said all and then he said half. I'm like,
But it's not the first time. This is like the third time that I've heard that. Like there's a discrepancy on what money was used. And girl, do you know how much money y'all have? Because then she's like saying over $300,000. That's all y'all had? I, it doesn't make sense.
agreed. I'm sure they have several accounts. I mean, he is head of an MLM, from what I understand. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was money all over the place.
Wait. Trey says Whitney is taking her first 48 role very seriously. She's determined to crack the case. Ciao. Yes, we're getting to that, Trey. Um, they go over who's invited to the event. Whitney tells Heather about her meeting with Lisa, um, and tells her what Lisa said about what Mary told her, that when apparently that's what you get for messing with her church, you wind up in jail like Jen or something like that, which
Mhm.
I think Lisa got wrong unless it
Right.
was said off camera.
I think it was like karma.
Right, but you're telling this to Whitney, who remembers stuff
Right.
verbatim.
Exactly.
If you saying anything to Whitney, say what you will about her being a Barbie, a bubblehead, or whatever, she remembers things verbatim. So when she plays the game of telephone, it is very accurate. Lisa could get burned by this. I don't know. Um, Heather asks if Mary has something to do with Jen's arrest. And, and then they start Nancy drewing it. And was it Heather this time that comes up with a scenario? No. Oh, wait, no, Whitney.
Of
Whitney
course, it's
said
Whitney.
she thinks it's Meredith's PI might have found something. Meredith told Mary, and that's why neither one of them came on the bus to Vale and left Lisa to ride with the scallywags. Shout out to scallywags. I love that word, but it's so old fashioned, but I love it. Um, it you really think so?
Uh, I
It's a
don't think so.
stretch.
It's a stretch. It's what they call I think they call it's called plausible, but it's highly unlikely in my opinion. That's what happened to me. That's what happens in my
Uh-huh.
opinion. Like I
Yeah.
said, it's a huge stretch.
I but I do love when they start theorizing though. I love it. Um but wait, let's remember this because when we get to the end of the season and we go into the reunion, if their theory is proven correct, oh my god, I will never doubt them again. It's just a lot. And I wonder if the reason why they're saying it is because they know these women and we don't. And they know that there's extra stuff going on that isn't filmed. I don't know. It just makes me question why they're saying that. Okay, so next we see Jen is at home with her mom. Charlene, I think, is her name. Charlene, yes. Um, Charlene comes over to visit. They're packing bags for little bags for a charity, and Jen says that her mom has been her rock through this, doing things like this for other people is helping taking her mind off of her legal troubles. She says that she has 3 attorneys and they're very expensive, and they're now beginning to scare her. Um, so you now taking this seriously, Jen? Not when you was in handcuffs in a strange room with Stuart saying I'm sorry?
Mm-hmm. So
Not when you appeared in court?
right
And
for real quick.
ooh,
So
ooh.
Larger Curse says Bravo allows Mary to get dragged for Ramona. Isn't nobody's yelling that Jenny is using the race card. It's important to teach black cops about racism, but New York is on hiatus rather than talk about it. So with this situation, this is an interesting situation because um, Mary's getting the heat for what she said, which she should have. Meredith is gonna catch hell for this too because she acted like she tried to act and play dumb. So it's two of them gonna catch heat for this, which they both should. But with Ramona, I don't. Everyone has said like she's inappropriate. She's been this for forever, and the fact that Bravo did go on hiatus, while they haven't said anything, I don't like the fact that they went on hiatus and then um canceled the reunion, and we all say it's because they're protecting Ramona. Here's my thing: if Bravo's gonna go on hiatus and not have a reunion, they can't bring Ramona back.
Well,
That they
especially if
can't.
the investigation was true.
Yeah, they can't. They can't. You can't because if you bring Ramona back, there was no need to take a hiatus or cancel the reunion. You should just do what you was gonna do and keep it moving. So were the situation was the Ramona situation handled correctly? In my opinion, no. unless the change is made. Until that change is made or not made, we really cannot judge. We can only speculate. But the way they're handling this situation, my gut reaction is they learned not to do that again because Bravo got so much backlash from the Ramona situation. They got so much backlash that they can't afford to sweep this under the rug, which is why they're allowing Mary to take her lumps, and Meredith is going to take hers because she's already taking them on Twitter. Because Mary was wrong for saying what she said, period, point blank, and we're not going to gloss over that. That's just not going to happen. Meredith was wrong because basically she co-signed it, even if you said like, "Oh, I may not know it's offensive." Shut up. Um, I'm not. I wouldn't say it. If you wouldn't say it, then you know it's offensive. So I'm going to need you to sit down too. I'm going to need you to get roasted on Twitter. Period. Point blank.
But it was doubly offensive
Yeah.
because she took up for Mary and then tried to deflect and get the point of view off of Mary onto Jen. I
Right.
think that's what hurt me the most. Why are you push like if Jenny is speaking about how something offended her and her
Mm-hmm.
culture, why
Mm-hmm.
are you trying to push the attention away?
Right. And this is one of the things with Bravo. That's interesting but annoying is we see the problems, right? We'll see the problems, but then what happens? We will see the problem corrected on another franchise, but we have to wait to see if it's corrected on the franchise where the offense took place. So what's happening here is we were quote we were I will say outraged. We were outraged at the New York situation through the whole season. We were pissed. Let's just call things. We were pissed.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get to see it addressed at the reunion, and then we don't get to see it addressed because filming has been halted because it's on hiatus. But we will see quote unquote the right thing done on another franchise right afterwards.
Mm.
And it comes across as Bravo playing favorites, but we haven't seen the fallout on the franchise that it should happen.
What do you think about what Tracy says? Leanne from Dallas was the same thing. And she was before Ramona. Like the punishment wasn't the same. Because didn't you say that I wasn't watching then. I'm going to be
Mm-hmm.
very honest. Leanne got let go or wasn't renewed because she said something
Mm-hmm.
offensive to Carrie, right?
Yes, but the problem with Leanne was this: Leanne had basically friction with everyone on the show, and Dallas was still new to where they could get rid of Leanne and quickly and swiftly and not get too much backlash because she was quote unquote the villain and she wasn't a great villain.
Mm. Ebony wants to know, can Bravo be responsible for every racial offense? I want to know why they keep on showing it. But it causes conversation. It causes
Mm.
people to talk about the shows, which brings more eyes to it. It also loses eyes. So
I'm gonna
I
say
don't know.
no, but the problem is with this is the simple fact that Bravo couldn't repeat the same mistake twice in a row. They couldn't afford it. Like the heat and backlash they took over the whole New York situation,
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't repeat that. They couldn't repeat it.
Mm-hmm. And it was the first Housewives that did not have a reunion. And it's all, and then we find out there was an investigation.
Mm.
They didn't find anything wrong, but still there's like a whole taint over New York with the mismanagement of how they handle that season.
Yeah,
Well, that's why they're on hiatus until 23, they said.
yeah.
Something like that. Oh well. Let's hope that they can figure out how to do it and
Well,
bring
first
back
on,
an iconic series. Mm-hmm.
Largest says Mary's not racist. However, what she said was not okay to say that way. That was a racist stereotype, and those can be harmful. For me,
Mhm.
I'm not a person who uses the racist word towards people very um like I typically don't call people racist honestly because I need to see a long line of pattern of behavior before I even use
Mhm.
that word. What I will when I see certain things, I will like that was racially insensitive.
Yeah, because we all
That's a
can say
stereotype.
things. Yeah, we can all say things that are incorrect, but that doesn't make us a racist. I think if you say something that's incorrect and you genuinely didn't know, and someone brings it to your attention, don't double down on it. And Mary did. And then stumbled over an apology. Um, if someone tells you that they were hurt by something that you said, and you care that you hurt someone's feelings, then you should apologize. Um, I guess she just, I guess at this point, Mary just don't care about Jenny at all.
Right.
But what she said not only insulted Jenny, but an entire culture.
Yeah. To me, it was just racially insensitive, and I think Ebony makes excuse me, Ebony makes a good point with this. She says, I don't think Mary is racist either. And then she's empty-headed when she says, like, and she said this though. She just says whatever pops into her head.
But I don't think a leader of a church should be that flippant in what they say, or anyone on TV. Oh,
But here's the problem though. We can't. I understand where you're going, but I'm going to kind of disagree because we complain when our characters aren't authentic, and I've said this before. We get mad, but when they're authentic and say what's in their heads, we get mad at them because we don't like what they say. You can't have it both ways. I'm not gonna be mad at somebody because they say what's on their mind. Do what may Am I always gonna like it? No, but I'm not gonna be mad at them for saying it.
I don't know. I just think what got me with Mary is that she doubled down on it. The apology was stuttered, and then Meredith condoning and then deflecting. I don't get what's going on between the two of them.
Right.
I don't.
And Susan says,
Uh,
what I worry about is the editing. Are we getting the whole segment? That's always something we have to take into account, unfortunately. But we
mhm.
do. Um, Mary has shown many times about people's feelings. Let's see. Tracy says this is the same person that won't go to the 7-Eleven or convenience store because she's afraid of black people. Okay. And then it's interesting that Jenny, who I call black, Larger says it's interesting that Jenny, who I call black phobic, the first time she cursed Mary for nothing, and now for her to be like she doesn't accept her compliments, Jenny never liked Mary. I'm going to agree. Jenny never liked Mary. We're going to put that on the table. I agree with that, but those compliments that um,
It's not a compliment
it's
if it
not, those are
offends
compliments.
somebody.
Yeah,
It's not a compliment.
I had to explain to someone else. They said something. They came to me with the situation. They said, "Well, I gave so and so this compliment." I'm like, "Okay, well, what's the reaction?" They're like, they got upset." I'm like, "Okay, then that's not a compliment. Like, you can't
Mhm.
tell somebody how they need to feel about what was said to them. You don't get to dictate. You don't get to dictate that." Um, just like if someone said to us, blanket statement like, "Oh, like something about fried chicken," just a typical one. They may think it's okay, but if I take it offensive and I feel it's insensitive, then it's insensitive.
Mhm.
And I really try to talk to people about that when we have these conversations. Like, you don't get to dictate how someone takes something. Just because you don't find it insensitive or you don't have a problem with it doesn't mean there's not a problem with it.
I just wish Mary had taken it as a learning experience. If she genuinely didn't know that that was offensive, um, she should have just been like, I didn't know that. I'm so sorry. I'll never, say that again. And probably like pull her to the side and say, explain more to me.
But
If you,
she did say that.
uh huh,
She genuinely, and I will give Mary that. She thought I didn't think it was offensive. She thought I just took it as a feature. And she's like,
right.
and she said like I'll never go down that road again.
Okay, but in the moment, I think what got me most was that she doubled down and said it again. The girl just said to you, that's offensive to me.
Right.
And she goes, why? But you do have pretty slanted eyes. No. I would have said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I would have started right then. Can you explain to me?
So, Ebony, it's like it's during that scene, but it's not. If I recall correctly, it's in that scene, but you really can't hear it, so they did in subtitles, and that was the
Okay.
problem. It was done in subtitles.
And she stumbled over it. She did. She stumbled over it. Um, I don't know. Her confessional didn't do her any favors. The scene itself didn't do her any favors. I think because it came from Jenny didn't do her any favors because because those two don't like each other. I think
Right.
Mary doesn't hear
Right.
what she's saying, and vice versa. Vice
Yeah.
versa. Those two are worse than what is it, oil and water? They have a problem with each other. Their characters grate on each other's nerves.
Right.
Um, Child, I don't know. It's a mess. Hold on. Wait, what were okay. So let's just finish off Jen with her mom. Her mom is like liquidating everything, selling a home, cashing out her retirement, da 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 da. But Jen is also agreeing now finally to downsize and consolidate money. She's talking about did she actually say selling properties? She doesn't own anything. Unless she's talking about her other family that owns stuff.
When she said selling properties, and here's what I had two problems with Jen. The first problem is when she said that I'm just so used to like us taking care of everyone. I'm like, so now you're gonna, so now you're going to blame you taking care of your family for your situation. Basically, to me, it came across like y'all made me do this.
That's how I came across to you?
Yes, because she always says that we take care of everyone. We employ X amount of family members. We do this for them. We do that for them.
Mhm.
And but then she said like I'm just so like her mom is doing all this stuff for her like oh
Mhm.
like I'm just so used to taking care of everyone and this I'm like so you're blaming your family for this.
Okay,
And what
so
other properties, ma'am? When
I
you're renting
know. I was
when
like,
you're
whose
renting Shaw Chalet
property?
2 when you're renting Shaw Chalet 2.0.
Yeah, I was just like, what? Do you own anything? Because the court documents didn't say you owned anything. Like Stewart owned a home.
Right.
It's really
Mhm.
weird. And then something else that Charlene says. Charlene says that in their culture, the oldest female takes care of everyone, and that fell on Jen's shoulders. But Jen's not the oldest female. What about you, Charlene, and Auntie with the foots? I
Mhm.
ain't. How does that work? She said clearly the oldest female, right? How is Jen the oldest female? And
Mhm.
if she is, that Botox and filler, amazing.
And then my thing is how why is your mom cashing out her 401k and her retirement to help you?
I don't know, unless she's planning for that room that she asked Jen for to be the next cell down. Really?
I want to check something.
because she says the mom liquidated close to $1 million to help her, including her retirement funds. Her mom believes she's innocent. Is that just for TV? She cannot be liquidating all of that, and she's like knocking on retirement's door. I know I wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Ebony.
Coach,
Ebony says Jen barely owns her own clothing.
so it looks like Coach Shaw makes about 400. Well, okay, he made 400K for the 2020 season.
Mm.
And I'm just so curious. Like, okay, why do you need so much money to defend
Mm.
yourself? I'm sorry, but at this point, and
But she,
Mary said in her confessional, they're like, why do they need Homeland Security for you, the FBI
right.
for you?
But that's what I was getting ready to say. All of the alphabet from the soup came out to get her, not just one. Like, she's going up against Southern District. She can't get Mickey Mouse lawyers. And she's got to get lawyers that are in New York that have the New York license. So they ain't
Right.
gonna be cheap.
No. And Larger and Susan are thinking on the same line. Susan says, "Oops, maybe she does put in others' names. Um, Jen must put properties in her mother's name, perhaps." Here's the thing with that. I could go along with that. The reason why they're liquidating those assets is because anyone who benefited from that money can lose everything as well. So you
Ooh,
liquidate those assets to use the money to fund your defense.
child. Based on the type of case, maybe when 18 letters come for you, it costs a bunch of money. Yes, Larja.
And after you're right, when that's largest correct, and I keep forgetting with this situation, it's federal, so you gotta have lawyers in both states.
Yep, and it's Southern District. You got like the best of the best that are working for the government at the Southern District of New York coming after you. I'm sorry. Her defense is not going to be cheap.
But my thing is how I'm just I know her. She said her mother was a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
How does I'm just curious. Unless you're paying all your mom's bills, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
she's saying her she's worked in education for like 25 years. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be nosy again. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, everybody. I'm just curious. Mm. Okay, so basically, we're gonna give her mom. So basically, her mother makes between 33,000 to 74,000 per year as a teacher. That's the range. So
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 33 plus 74 divided by 2. We'll give her we'll give her an average of 53,500 a year. Okay, split the difference. Now her mother was
Mm-hmm.
an educator for like what 25 years
Mm-hmm.
times 25. So that basically over the course of her teaching career growth, she's made about 1,300,000. Right? That is pre-tax. So that's just how much money she's made. That's not how much money she's put into retirement. Say she put 20% in retirement or whatever. So we get 20%. 20% is what 260 grand roughly. Yeah, yeah, 260 grand, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does that equal 1 million? Where are you getting that number from?
I'll throw this out there. What if they got a real steal on the house. It was a fixer-upper. They bought it dirt cheap, fixed it up. The neighborhood took off, and so you got a large return on the house.
But I mm, I can't see that because the houses in the area don't sell for that. Like they're around the 400 to 600,000 on the market
Yeah, but if
from what
she's
we've
had
seen.
the house for 2 decades, and
Right.
Jen is always trying to get rid of money, so keep on doing upgrades.
But even that, that'll bring the house maybe to the top end of 600K if you get that.
But
That
at
still
least
doesn't
six
equal a
hundred
million.
k is a
Yeah,
good portion of it.
it
I'm
is.
just
No,
trying to be devil's advocate.
I know. I'm just trying to figure where the million came from
I don't
because
know.
because if you're taking care of everyone, how's your unless you're taking care of all your mother's bills for 25 years, then and she's put all her paychecks into a savings. I just don't see $1 million. I'm curious.
Well, it's Jen. Do we believe anything that comes out of her mouth? I
No.
don't think so. Um, let's get on to this party. They all arrive at the party. Um, Meredith and Mary come together. Jenny brings back the boots and is planning to confront Mary at the event. Um, wow. Okay. Let's ruin yet another event. But okay. Mary is wandering around wondering why there's no coat check person. Um, Meredith sees Jen arrive and she wants to know if there is a hearing problem in the group. Oh my God. Whitney's late is because she tore her dress and they have to wind up sewing her into it, but she looks really, really cute. Um, Best scene of the night is with the guys playing like that question and answer game,
Hmm.
asking Justin if he goes and plays golf with his wife, and he
That was
admits
funny.
yes.
They
And
couldn't
it was,
believe it. They're like,
yeah, it was nice to see Coach Shaw like smile, considering. And I like these group of guys, these husbands.
hmm.
They're cool. Um, okay, so Jenny calls all of the ladies together to a private area because she wants to talk with Mary, but Mary has a habit of forgetting what she says. So she wants to say what she has to say in front of all of the ladies. This is where she tells Mary that she was insulted by what she said, and she also brings up the gift of the boots that she got from Mary in Vale. She said in her culture, if the gift was not meant for her, and it was like a re-gift, then that's insulting to them. And I can see that, and you saw it on her face when they showed the flashback to Vale,
Hmm.
when Mary said that they were already bought. She just pulled them out of the closet. um Her face kind of fell, and then when Lisa told her that the boots were really meant for Jen and not her, um double whammy. So she's bringing back the boots and they give them to Jen. And Jen is like, I'm not going to look sideways against a pair of red bottoms.
Right.
I must say, Jen looked really cute with that rose gold wig on.
Yeah.
Very compliment. The hair, the makeup, the dress, everything looked really cute. But she kept quiet during this whole thing. I love it when she keeps quiet in the faces that she makes.
Tracy, yep, them shoes went straight on eBay.
Oh my God. And another thing was that Mary left the receipt in the gift.
Right.
Ooh, Mary. Mary. Well, first she said that the shopper bought them and she didn't like them. Then she said she bought them for the reunion, but they hurt her feet too much. Then she said she's giving them to Jen. Like there was too much stories over these one pair of shoes. Too much. So that all went down the toilet. Mary walks away. Meredith goes after her. They're just not dealing with this anymore. They're not. Um oh, when Whitney says, she makes a plea. She's like, I would like for all of us not to use a derogatory speech against each other. It's just not good.
Mm-hmm.
And Meredith jumps in and says, exactly. And it's not just racism. Look what you all did to Jen.
Really?
What? What?
Well, she was sitting there talking about Jen too. After all the comments she's made about Jen, the
I
whole season.
know.
I'm like,
She's like, I'm just here to tell you, Jen, that I did not like that. These are supposed to be your friends. You and I have differences, and I'm not really your friend. I can't support you, but someone needs to be there for her.
right. Somebody needs to be there for her as I'm having her investigated. Okay. Okay. I was just like, what? But she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong, but she wasn't the appropriate messenger for that message.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It just sounded ridiculous coming from Meredith. I'm going to need someone to support her as I'm looking into all her financials.
It was just
That
odd.
yes,
Oh, and when Meredith picked up for Mary and said that comment, well, it's not something that I would say. Did you see Heather and Jen's face?
right.
And Lisa's got to practice her faces because she's just kind of like stuck. But Heather and Jen gave the best reactions to that. Let's see. I like when Meredith and Mary walk off and Jenny says birds of a feather flock together. It was good considering that Meredith was wearing like 5 partridges in a pear tree. I don't know.
Right.
She loves those feathers. Ugh. Um let's see. Oh, Heather tells Lisa on the couch that she shouldn't let Mary come between her friendship with Meredith. And she encourages Lisa to go and talk to Meredith. She goes up to Lisa. I didn't feel she was screaming. I don't know, but maybe there was music playing. I don't know, but I didn't feel she was like screaming, not like last week, but
Mm-hmm.
Meredith says no, she's not dealing with it. And Lisa says, I'm not chasing after her anymore. Good. You have to know when you cut off or disengage, as Meredith
Stop.
said.
You say you gotta know when you cut off.
Well, look, like that signals to me somebody don't want to be my friend.
Right.
So I'm gonna keep begging.
My thing is, I agree. Don't chase after someone who wouldn't chase after you.
So Meredith and Mary are telling, that was Seth, right? And she says the slanted eye comment again, and Seth's face is like,
Right. His reaction just completely took me out. Actually.
why is nobody telling Mary that this is wrong other than the person that's the most offended by it? We can all correct things when our friends say something wrong. Like Jamal corrects me all the time. Not that I make those kinds of comments, or at least I hope I don't, but it's like if you're a friend, you just help your friends out so that they don't look like idiots. Um,
Hmm. I think it's
let's
just
see.
important to do
Hmm.
because it's not right to let it's not right to let a quote unquote friend knowingly walk out there off a ledge, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. I just don't believe in doing that to people. Like when my friends like say things like, "Yeah, no, that's not the business."
Hmm.
I mean, that's just the way it is for me because you telling them afterwards does not help them in the moment. You already let them
Hmm.
like walk out in the middle of the street.
Hmm.
Okay, I think I found the post.
I think that's something that Mary brought up to Lisa and said, if I'm saying something in the moment, tell me in the moment and don't wait till weeks later when I don't remember what I said. And Lisa said she was
Right,
going to work on that.
and she should. I think this is the clip you guys were talking about. Share screen. This is like Queens of Bravo. I think this is what we were all
Hmm.
talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it would be offensive or not. I just wouldn't say it at his face.
And she was keeping her head down for most of
She
that
was.
interaction.
She
But
was
then
though.
when that happened, her head popped up. She was just like, wait, what? Lisa then goes and talks to Mary. You know, Mary says that Lisa comes across as two-faced. Mary says that she didn't say the Mexican comment. Mary says that if she does something, say it in the moment. Lisa says she's going to be better with that. Mary says that she doesn't own things. Is that right? I don't remember. Anyway, um, Mary says that she has doubts about her. Mary says that if she has doubts about her or her church, tells her that Lisa doesn't know her as a person.
Hmm.
And then we see Whitney making her toast. Yeah, and I think that's it. That was the episode, y'all. That was the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 2, episode 15, The Miseducation of Mary Cosby. That was a mess. That was a bona fide mess.
Let's see. All the plotting to have Mary alienated is telling. Well, I don't think it's plotting. Mary did it to herself. Sorry, it is what it is. She did, and she did this. This started last season, and my thing is this: no one can help. No one can alienate you from your friendships, but you and your behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at everyone in this group, Mary has had an issue with everyone in this group, but Meredith at this point. Everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
no plotting needs to happen when the person does it to themselves.
Whitney was one of Mary's biggest supporters last
Oh,
year.
yes. But I don't like, and I will agree with Larger on this. I don't like the consistent picking,
Mm-hmm.
and it shouldn't be everyone jumping on Mary with their issues at the same time. For example, you know, Whitney and Heather are a package deal. Unfortunately, if that's family, it is what it is. That's how it goes down. But
Mm-hmm.
I think Heather needs to let Whitney fight her own battle on this one. Let
Mm-hmm.
Whitney's doing a great job fighting for herself. Let her do it. Heather, keep sitting up to the side watching and recording.
I think
Allegedly,
she does. I think she does, except in Vale, where she tried to jump in
right,
and wound up throwing a hissy fit.
right. I agree with Larger. The fact that they jump on her, it comes across as if they're plotting against her to like kind of get her ostracized and booted off the show. We didn't like it on other franchises, so I'm not gonna sit here and like it now. I think everyone should fight their own battles. But like I said before, Mary has given them the opportunity with some of her behavior. Do I think that? all the behavior weren't calling out. No, not really. To be completely honest, not
Does
all of
Mary
it.
even be on this show? Because she seems aggravated now that she has to leave the closet.
I think I think Mary for me is good for this show because she's different. At least she keeps me engaged.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see another African American, African descent person on the show with her to see the dynamic.
So
I
Jen
want to see.
doesn't count?
For me, she's what, Chinese and Tongan or something.
I thought it was Hawaiian and Tongan.
I think was it Chinese? It could
She's
be. I know she was
Chinese?
born. I know she was born in Hawaii, if I recall correctly.
Okay,
Let's
this
see. I
was
could be
that.
wrong.
Guys, don't forget to give us a like. I know I forgot to say that at the top of the show. Please give us a thumbs up. It's a free way to support the
Okay,
channel and
you're
get
right.
our stuff out there.
It's it's
What
it's,
is she?
it's Hawaiian. It's Hawaiian and Tongan. You're right.
Ah,
I don't
okay.
know why I thought Chinese for some reason. But no, I want to see um how they interact with someone of another African descent nationality, just to see the contrast.
Mm, they don't have any problems with Coach Shaw.
True. No, but it's different. It's different when the energy is different when it's male to female. That's all. Completely.
Oh. We
Let's
need to
see.
find prominent African American women in Park City and Salt Lake City that we can merge into the cast.
Largest, like, can you tell I love Mary? I mean, I put me, I, I lightweight stand Bethany Frankel, but when she be on the BS, sometimes like you shouldn't have done that. And that's the thing. Like, and I talk with other people, like you can love a character, you can love them, but like you gotta be able to point out when they on the BS. There's sometimes Bethany, like Bethany boo boo cans, that you have to like yell at Sonya like that. You really need to do it like that. I understand the frustration, girl, but like you really need to do that. It's just stuff like that. It's really like things of that nature. Like I said, I like Mary because she's different. She makes me want to know more about her, and that's why I like her on the show. But I want another. Like I said, I'm going to keep saying this. I want another person of African descent on this particular show to see the dynamic between the ladies and that person. That way, I can contrast it to how they treat Mary to see if there's other things going on or they just don't like Mary. And I would like to
Mhm.
see this might be wrong to say, but I would like to see where Mary like starts dating.
Wait, start. She's married. Wait, what?
I still want
Did
to see
she
her
get
dating.
divorced?
No, I just want to see her dating.
You want to see her dating?
I'd like to see her get a divorce.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, wait, did something happen to Robert Sr.? I don't know.
I'd like to see Mary dating, and I'd like them to get a divorce because she's not happy, and she's still young. She's got a lot of life left, and I'd like to see her uh be happy.
Here's the thing. I like Mary,
Yes.
but I don't want to learn. I don't want to scratch past the surface because then I fear we might find something that we're not ready for. And I would rather her live her best life off this show. It's just that these shows have a way of bringing up the worst
Mhm.
things possible. Um, like, not saying that what's happening with Jen could happen to her, but you know, uh-uh.
Oh, Susan.
Robert is in Florida.
Right.
I think he probably has a better life in Florida. Like the cold weather probably isn't like he's like a
Yeah.
snowbird, probably.
And my thing with Mary is like I just want to get to know her like as a person. I'm not really the church thing, not my thing. But I would get to know about her and what her like. I would like to see Mary in a happy situation is basically because I think this is one of those things that Kyle, I think it was Kyle who said it, that if you come on these shows and your marriage is not strong, it will show all the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is what's happening to Mary. Like, she should be living her best life, being rich. Oh, Tracy, I'll be here for Flavor of Love, Mary Cosby edition.
Mm-mm-mm. It would be nice if she could find some sort of happiness because it just seems like she's had a very traumatic life.
Yeah.
But I would also like to see her get some, like, I feel she needs to talk to somebody, anybody, other than
Mm-hmm.
her handbags that she's made friends with. Ugh. Anywho, guys, my schedule is not
Yep.
stopping. I've got to go. Guys, this was great. Thank you so much to the live chat. Hello to everybody in the replay crew. We can't wait to see your comments. Let us know what you think about this show and Trey's idea about Flavor of Love, Mary Cosby edition. Trey will. Trey wants like at least a percentage from Viacom VH1 for that one. And hold on, Maria, happy to be here. So they had an issue. Well,
Mm-hmm.
look, just be careful what you put out there on these reality streets because
Right.
people will weaponize it and use it against you.
At any turn.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, we'll see you here tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We're doing Sister Wives tomorrow, Tuesday. So come with your notes, ready to dissect. Okay. Jamal, any final words?
No, we're good.
Yay. So until next time,
Of course.
bye.
Bye.